Everyone loves the idea of starting young, the money, the freedom, the success you get. But no one really talks about how it actually feels when you're 14, 15 years old, trying to build something, trying to start something of your own. The loneliness, the confusion, the isolation, the misunderstanding of everyone, and the constant pressure to be someone before you're even an adult. Now, for the rest of the video, I'm going to explain the brutal truth about starting young, and also my 2-year journey into trying to make it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So why did I start so young? What was the reason why I started at 14, 15 years old? To answer that question, I was put in the position where I had to man up, where I had to step up to the plate and get shit done. Why? Due to the circumstances I was in. Now, specifically for those circumstances, that's a story for another day that right now I'm not ready to put out to the world yet. But not only that, I always knew the traditional route of life of going through school, getting good grades, going to uni, then ended up getting a good job. I knew that wasn't for me. Deep down in my heart, always when I was younger, I knew that wasn't for me. I always knew there was something up, something that wasn't right, that didn't really add up. I didn't want to be 30 and 40 with a bit of money. I wanted to be young and rich, getting the stuff that I always wanted to do at a young age. And since I already knew that, I was ready to sacrifice my teenage years in order to get where I wanted to be. So then I made a decision to change, a decision to try and make this happen. So, as probably most of you have done, I went on YouTube, searching for ways to make money online or just how to make money. I was watching loads of YouTubers, researching a lot on dropshipping, SMMA, how to build an agency, clipping, etc, etc. And I tried all of those things. Now for around about 6 months to a year, I tried everything. I tried dropshipping. It worked, but not to the point where I was life-changing. I didn't really see how this was going to actually work for me in the long run. I made a little bit of money, but not huge amounts of money. I'm talking about a couple of dollars in profit. So then after that, I was like, okay, let me try and build an app. That completely failed. Within a month, that completely failed. I tried clipping, barely anything happened for me. I kept trying to post TikTok videos online. I literally made up to 20 different accounts trying to make this work. And it still didn't work. 20 different accounts and it still didn't work. On one of my accounts, I'd post a couple of videos, it would get a couple of thousand views, and then bam, account would get banned. So then straight away, I'd make my new accounts, and every time I'd post, videos will get 0 views. I'm talking about seeing the number 0 next to your view count. Imagine how demotivating that could be. 0 views. If I got 100 views on a video, that would be a massive win for me. That's how bad it got. So months went by, I kept trying, nothing worked, and I failed over and over and over again. Bro, right now the time is 3:58. It is literally getting light outside. I don't know if you could even see my service, and I'm just thinking, planning how am I gonna make this shit work. I don't know, right now I'm just in like a phase of like, don't really know what to do, but I know what to do, but I'm just kind of stuck in the middle. I just need to take action. I don't know. I know it'll work. Well, if it doesn't, then I'm pretty fucked, but... You see, when you start young, it sounds so cool, the idea of starting young, dropping out of school, becoming a young entrepreneur or a person who's independent at a young age. It sounds like the dream life, but no one tells you how much you question yourself. Your friends don't understand what you're doing. Your parents just think it's just a phase. Everyone else around you is having fun in school, going out to parties, drinking, and doing all of this stuff. But instead, in that time, I was trying to make something work, and it would fail over and over again, right in front of my face. And also to help that, you'll go on Instagram, go on TikTok, you scroll a couple of times, and you see people not too much older than you flexing with a watch on their wrist, or the new supercar they've bought, or the new house they're living in, or the new high-rise Miami penthouse they're staying in. And you see all of this, and then you wonder to yourself, are you actually built for this? Am I built for this? Can I actually do this? You know, maybe this just isn't for me. I could tell you now, I definitely did think this wasn't for me at one point. I've had nights where I thought to myself, am I just completely wasting my time? And being in this position is a really weird spot to be in, because you're doing more than the majority of people your age around the world, but also you haven't seen any results for the months of hard work and stress that you've put in. And if I'm being honest, most people get to this stage, this phase, the phase that I'm currently describing to you, and they just give up. It's so easy to give up at this point because you've put in months of hard work and you've seen no reward yet. None. But trying to make it and trying to make this work obviously isn't easy, because if it was so easy, everyone would have done it by now. However, it is simple. So, how did I keep going? What actually made me break through this phase, break through this brick wall? Well, one of the answers to that was because I was just a madman. I was just crazy. But the other answer is because I knew my purpose. I knew I had to make this work, because if I didn't make this work, then the people around me would suffer as well. My pure purpose is to give everything back to my family and let them live the best life possible. That's it. But as I said, I'm also a little crazy as well, because 99% of people my age wouldn't have done what I did. Wouldn't have put in the hard hours that I put in. It wouldn't have done months and months of work for no reward. And that's just a simple truth. I was doing all of this while living in school, revising for my GCSEs, and also trying to become a professional cricketer as well. Bro, I was a madman. And I would wake up, go sit through all my lessons, go do my gym training and my cricket training, come back to my room, work, leave my room to eat, go back to my room, work again, and just sleep. And I repeated that for 2 years straight. My social life literally died. I didn't have one. My social status, as you could say, completely left, out the window. I used to be quite popular in school. I used to be one of the guys, you know, I used to be out and about with everyone. But in these 2 years, it all disappeared. Without a true purpose, I promise you, you won't make this work. Like, your sole purpose can't just be to drive a fast car or to have a shiny watch or to have a big house to live in, because materialistic shit wears off like that. I've only had a taste of the materialistic stuff I want to get, and now I actually understand why all these rich people get bored so easily. So 2024, the summer that changed everything. So as I previously said, I tried several things and they just failed. So then in the back of my mind, I knew I had to make this work as well. So then I decided I wanted to make some products related to football. That was my vague idea I wanted to make come to life. So then I started designing. I had nothing to lose. I already tried all of this stuff, so I was like, I'm gonna go all in. So then once I had this idea, I started learning how to use Photoshop and I started designing every single day. As I said, I had nothing to lose, so I just went all in. I was 15 at the time, and this is when everything clicked for me. One thing I noticed myself doing was I used my youth as a disadvantage. I thought this is the reason that was preventing me from success. This is the reason why I keep failing, is because I was only young. But you have to realize being young is leverage. You have time to fuck up, you have time to learn, time to figure everything out, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Hello, good evening.
This is the closing time.
1 hour later.
Anyway, sorry for interruption. As I was saying, being young is leverage because you have time to make mistakes, time to fuck up, time to figure out everything. You have time, full stop. That's a thing that most people don't have. So I'm glad I went through this phase at a young age. All the times you failed, put all your hard work in, has not gone to waste. It finally gets you ready to the point where you're able to have that moment where it all clicks for you. So as soon as I had my first drop, within 30 days, I crossed a 10K in sales mark, and it finally had clicked for me. If you're starting young, here's some of the things that I've learned across the way. So 1, you don't need to have it all figured out yet. You just need to find something that you want to do and go all in for it. You will feel like you're behind. You need to ignore that feeling, stick to what you've got in front of you, and ignore all that noise. Now, the reason why I say this is because I've said this previously several times in this video. We are young. We can't afford to make mistakes. We have time to learn, and we have time, full stop. We have time to figure all of this out. You have to use your young age and your youth as your weapon to success, as your key to success. All the work you've put into failures will all work out in the end. Just because you don't get results fast doesn't mean that all your work has gone to waste. And by the way, I'm not saying that I've made it, or I'm at the point where I've made millions and millions of dollars and I've got money in the bank and I can afford all the fast cars and the nice watches and blah, 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 blah. No, in fact, I am far from that. And also, on the other hand, I'm not far from where you guys are. Trying to get started, how to make money online, how to actually start getting things going. I'm only 1 and 2 steps ahead of you guys. I'm not some guru saying to do this. I'm just sharing to you my experience to what's helped me get to this point today. Because as I said, I'm only 1 or 2 steps ahead of you guys. I've been doing this for nearly 2 years now, and I'm still figuring it all out. But one thing's for sure, and I can tell you now, mark my words, I will not quit. I'm not going to give up on this. So if you're young and trying to build something and trying to make it, don't rush the process. Use your age as your weapon. Make mistakes. Build. Learn on the mistakes. Use the lessons that you've learned, implement them into the next thing you're going to do. Because one day, all those quiet nights when you're locked in, up all night working while everyone else is partying, going out, all of those nights, they'll all pay off. Anyway, that's a wrap for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next, whether if you want to know more about what I do personally, business-wise, more about e-com in general, or if you want to know day-to-day stuff and day in the life, so what I actually do and get up to here in Dubai as a 16-year-old dropout. Anyways, let me just wrap this shit up. How do I turn it off?